Hi, this is Nancy Lee with Hair You Wear Pro Clip-Ins. Today we have Vicki, and consultation-wise as a hairdresser, you could talk with her and let her tell you what she needs. Vicki definitely has very, very straight hair. She actually has a lot of hair, but it doesn't have a lot of body. So we could do a great Hair You Wear Pro Clip-In add-on service. The first one I'm thinking of is just volumizing. We could just keep it at her length, add 6 to 8 pieces and give her a lot more body. And also the curl would probably hold better when her hair's all meshed in with it. Another great service on her, she already kind of has a little bit of an inverted V. And if Vicki was really edgy and wanted to take this longer, we could actually just put some clip-ins on the side and have an extended inverted V. If she was really edgier than that and wanted some pops of color, we could add that in and she'd have some pops of color around her face. But I talked to Vicki today and we have decided on a full head lengthening. So have you ever had your hair down to here?
Once upon a time, yes.
Once upon a time, like?
Years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, right? Yeah. So this will be kind of fun. She gets to relive her youth. It'll be lots of fun. But anyway, it should be a lot of fun. So we're gonna be putting them in with the Hair You Wear Pro Clip-Ins, and I'll show you exactly how to take care of them and how to put them back in your hair. Okay?
Okay.
Great, let's get started.
All right.
For Vicki's hair, we'll be using number 2, number 3, number 8, and I took number 9 and toned it just for 10 minutes with Shades EQ 7GB. I didn't want to leave it on the full 20. I just wanted it to be a little bit more toned like number 8, because I want to try putting some highlights in her hair. I think that would be really pretty and give it some nice interest. I'm not really sure how many clip-ins I'm going to be using quite yet, so I'm going to try to do a layout on her hair next. Since I'm doing a rough layout on Vicki's head, I want to kind of go through and see about how many clip-ins I'm gonna need. And she has a lot of density, so I'm gonna need to make sure, especially in lengthening, that I fill that in and do enough clips so that it looks like a natural blend and it doesn't look too stringy on the ends. So I always recommend when your client's in your chair to just look at their head. So I'm gonna go through, I'll have to pack quite a few in, so I'm gonna try to get in as many as I can. So definitely one here, oops, one there definitely, and then we'll go up. I think right above that, I don't know if I'm getting 1 or 2 in. I might get 2 in there. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then I think definitely 4 and 5 that I'm gonna do down below the occipital area. Then I want to start taking circles around her hair. So let's hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I think 15 will be just about the right amount of clip-ins. I'm going to keep most of them in the dark range and maybe just have a few of the highlighted pieces just to put around her face and maybe kind of a little peekaboo underneath. So I've gone ahead and clipped up Vicki's hair all out of the way. You want to make sure that when you space your rows out, they're fairly evenly apart, so when you go and do your haircut, there's no holes in the haircut. And also, it just gives a nice even flow, mixing her hair in with the extensions hair. So I have basically 3 rows below her occipital here, and then we're going to have 2 circles around. I may end up doing 1 extra clip over here because this is her heavy side. So actually I think I'm going to need 16 clips now. It may be a good idea when you order just to order 1 or 2 extra clips. You can always put them on somebody else or make some pop pieces out of them. So let's put them in. So I'm going to start off with number 8. Remember, we have a nice fine line weft. It has 3 clips on the back and there's no need for teasing unless you want to tease the hair. I'm going to have the lighter color kind of underneath because when this swings around to the front, she'll have some sort of like peekaboo highlights, which I think will look really nice. So I'm not sure about this row, whether I can fit 2 in here. So I think I'm going to use number 3 here. And alternate the dark and the light. Yeah, it's a squeeze. I personally think I'm just gonna put one in here. Ooh, I've got a better idea. I'm gonna put this one in, and then I'm gonna customize this one by cutting it into 2 pieces and letting this piece be right here, which is just 2 inches wide. Right between these 2 clips. Be really careful not to cut the hair. I'll put that little piece aside. Maybe we can sneak that in somewhere. And I'm just gonna round this corner so it matches the other side. Okay. And now that fits perfectly. Remember that you need to have a perimeter so the clips don't show. So you want to make sure you have some hair out on both sides. And then let's do our next row. And let's see. Let's put some dark pieces in. Add more of the light ones around her face. When we do circles around the head, I like to start and put the clips on the outside pieces first and then fill these 2 in. So this is where I really want to show off some of this highlighted color. So we're going to try one of our lighter pieces that I toned, number 9. Keep it a good distance away from her front hairline so that they peek out, but the extension site doesn't actually show. Okay, and let's do over here on this side. And I'm going to add some more highlights as well on the back here. So we'll go back to number 8, put a few more highlights in. And even though these look kind of weird put in this dark hair, you'll be amazed when we cut it. It's just going to look like she has all these really great under highlights peeking out of her hair. So we do have this one little customized piece left over. If Vicki wanted to keep her hair more one length in the front, especially on this heavier side, we could pop that piece right up inside here, right above our last row. But I think I actually want to cut into this and have a little bit of the highlights peeking out. So I'm going to leave it out, but it's always nice to have a little extra piece to work with. So I think as far as blending in, considering we haven't cut it or anything, it's pretty amazing, even with the color changes. So I want to keep as much length as possible because we're doing a full head lengthening. I'm going to cut a little bit more around her face, but I think I want to leave the back pretty long. We can always go back and cut it shorter. I'm just going to take my razor right now and just cut off sort of this little excess stuff that doesn't kind of belong in the haircut. Again, I'm using a razor. We want to do soft hair cutting techniques with extensions so they don't look like a wig. And it also helps when she goes to put them back in, that just in case she doesn't get them exactly in the right spot, they'll still blend in fine. So we're just going to take a razor right now. I've parted out her hair from the top of her head to behind her ears and put the front to the side. I personally think it's much easier to go back and do the front last, and let's deal with all the back first. I think it's an easy way to deal with almost any type of extensions. So we're just going to go through and clean this up. I just call it clean it up. Again, I'm also, with extensions, I get cut as little as possible and then go back and style her hair, and then I can always cut more. And always, always cut more. And you always want to do this dry, not wet. So dry, soft hair cutting techniques. So we're just getting this little bit, just that little bit off. After cutting the bottom with the razor, I decided I want to have this edge just a little bit cleaner after I got done. So I'm going to have Vicki lean her head down just a tiny bit, and I'm going to take just my straight shears and I'm going to point cut, still soft cutting techniques, and I'm just going to clean this edge up just a little bit more. That's just what I'm feeling for her haircut today. So I'm going to go across. And I'm going to keep this curved up because around her face is definitely going to be a little shorter, so I don't mind curving this up just a little bit. And again, I'm trying to leave as much length as possible. Just making the edge a little bit denser. But I don't think it looks too blunt. Go over to this side, edge it up over here. All right, I'm going to stop there and work on just slightly layering her hair. She really doesn't have much of a difference up here, but since I put the last extension up here at the top, it's all dark. I want to kind of cut into this so some of this blonde peeks through. So I want to go ahead and work with this top layer of dark extensions that I put in, and I left this all blonde, and you can see there's kind of a little bit of a drop off here, but I kind of want to work that into the haircut, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So this is her hair. We definitely don't want to cut into her hair, so this will be our starting point. And what I'm going to try to do is just pick up a little bit of that outside extension, and we just do this sort of freehand. And I'm very lightly going to use a razor. Now, as you know, the more of a 90-degree you go into the hair, the more hair's cut off. So I'm going to aim my razor at angle closer flush to the hair. And we're just going to lightly, very, very lightly. We can always take more off. Let's go back and take a little bit more off. Cut into that piece, just so we start getting that blend between here and here. And then I'm going to go over a little bit more and kind of grab a little bit more hair and blend that in. Since I'm keeping her hair, and remember her hair's here, do a little bit more here. I can just kind of use her hair as a guide and give a little taper. Now, most of the time I would have started in the middle and gone out, but I wanted to address this blend over here. This is one of our Hair You Wear Pro clip-ins right out of the bag. They're usually flat iron and really silky, which is perfect when putting them in people's hair where they want to have a really silky finished look. But many times when I'm adding volume or length, I go ahead and shampoo these and let them air dry, and then go back and fluff them a little bit with a blow dryer. And that's what I've done here with Vicky's extensions. So they're a little fuzzier, because when we're done, we want to curl her hair pretty curly. She likes to wear her hair curly. So I want to leave all that volume in there so we create the look that she wants. So we still need to blend in Vicky's extensions right through here on the side. So you can see we've got quite a drop off. And I kind of want to really cut into this and make it basically off of her face and take some of this off, but still leave this lighter edge. So I'm going to start off with a razor. I usually still just come back here and start about an inch back onto her head. And I'm going to use a razor for this. Let's see here. And again, I'm putting a little bit more pressure on it so I get that nice cut. Sometimes I'm angling my razor this way. I may go back and decide where I kind of want it a little chunky, and I'll go back and cut into it this way too, which makes some little nice effects when she curls it. So she ends up with a few little chunky pieces around her face. Then I'm going to go back again, pull some forward. Same thing, I'm watching where her hair ends here. Make sure I don't cut into her hair. I'm going to take a good bit of this off. I still want these highlights to show. We're giving her kind of a little bit of a faux ombre, which is kind of fun. I don't think you would ever put lots of blonde in your hair, would you? Maybe. Well, you never know. Okay. And then I may go ahead in just a minute and take, let's see here, that's where her hair ends. If I feel like on this top clip-in that I need to go back, that's actually not too bad. I think it's actually gonna work. We're gonna wait until I cut the other side and I curl her hair, and then I'll see how heavy it is to see if I need to cut some more. Always stay on the safe side. You can always cut more if needed. And then if you want to, you can go back and clean that up too, which I probably will do in just a minute. With the shear, just go in and point cut out all the little excess. So with 16 Hair You Wear Pro clip-ins in about 1 hour, what a fantastic add-on service. She could go to a wedding, a party, just anywhere. So, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? Yeah. What a transformation. And she can just use some of these and do updos with them. She could put just a few in and pull her hair back in a ponytail. You might not need to wear all this hair all the time. We'll just see. But when you want it, shazam, you got it. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you so much.